Good evening, guys. We are live again at Escape Stockport in Hallam Mill. What I thought we'll do tonight is go through our equipment. I know some people may not may use them, may not know how to use them properly, have questions that they'd like to ask. So what we're going to do, we'll start with some of the basic equipment that we use, move on to the slightly more technical ones. So on the table here in front of Lily, who has a brew, thanks to Dave. Dave is our brew boy to Lily, and when Mirabelle from Haunted Stories and Investigations comes down, he's their tea boy, when he's not making them rubbish. So these are our K2s here. We have a grey standard one, so once it's on, it will register I hate these words. Electromagnetic fields. If I use my EM pump, which is something we use to feed energy to spirits. So if I turn this on now, it makes a slight buzzing sound, and if I go closer to it, you'll see how it lights up like a Christmas tree. So we use this one for communication, and we have,
if there's any spirits
that wish to manipulate it. I have my one. This is my own one, which I have modified. I have put a buzzer on the back of it. I probably switched, so I made my own. But if I use my EM pump to go closer to it, it makes sound, which we haven't. It does go off from time to time. I modified it because we're doing a lot of outside investigations. So when you're looking around, it's light and stuff like that. You can't really see the K2s going off. So it's like, if we add the noise to it, it'd be easy to hear. Just an extra piece of stimulus for us. We also have another EMF device. This one shows the
electro field and magnetic field separately.
This is Stu's one, so he knows a bit more about it. This is interesting because it will pick up things that the K2 doesn't. So it's great. We use this one for baselining because it shows us different information. So moving on, we have the old classic, the one that causes so many innuendos, the cat ball. So basic cat ball, and I would pick on one that doesn't work. 1 second. Yeah, here we go. So basic cat ball. It's got a magnesium switch, I think it's called, or is it? Yeah, magnesium switch.
Magnesium switch.
So once it's set on the table, it will stop flashing, and any sudden movements normally will set them off. And of course, this one is being, there we go, it is being a bit awkward because I'm trying to show you guys. So
it has stage fright.
Yeah, a bit like me apparently, because I cannot get my words out. So we use these again in conjunction with the K2s for communication devices, yes and no's.
The spirit is in the area.
Yeah, so we normally hear the cat balls will go off if somebody's in the room. So more of an indication that they've come in, and then we know to start asking questions and ask who it is. With these broken ones, I will be putting a video up shortly. Still need to find some time to do it, but they are actually reusable. Once the battery goes like this one, it's quite easy to actually repair them. All it is batteries, and they're so easy. I just we'll be putting a video up about it at a later date. Because at Penny Pinchers, we're all about saving money. And these cat balls can be quite expensive these days because everyone's put paranormal in front of them, which I'm not a big fan of, but it hikes the price up. But
that's how we're skint.
Hence the name Penny Pinchers. So our next one this is actually my own device. I've actually created this myself out of a laser grid pen. You can get these the laser pens for pennies. but you have to hold the button, and you know, you stood there for hours and on end, hoping to catch something go through the grid. It's kind of tiresome, hurts after a while, you get bored, so we've not really used it. So what I've done is I have, once I've opened it up, I basically soldered it into a box and clamped down the original button and put on my own button on it. So it runs exactly the same. All I've done is add some wiring to it and an extra switch. And so I don't know if you'll be able to see it in the light. Can you turn off the light a second? So I don't know if you guys can see that, but it is quite bright still outside. So the idea with the laser...
have curtains.
Yeah, you can't. We could for a second, but not.
What happens to that? How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, so the idea with the laser pen is you set it up in the room, and then if we get any shadow figures or anything that breaks the beam that isn't us, we'll be able to see it move. As you can see, my hand is breaking the light there. So the idea of this is to see if we have any movement that is undetected by the eye that might break the laser beam. Another piece of equipment we use, again for baselining, this is again Stuart's, is a laser thermometer. So we use this to, well,
it will tell us the ambient temperature of the air, also the area. Usually directed by laser beam, so you can tell exactly where you get it.
And when Stuart does it and points it at you in the middle of the dark, when you're concentrating, it scares the living daylights out of you. Which is
Well, it keeps them on their toes.
It does. It does. It's also a reason I bring extra clothing with me.
I can't help it if you poop yourself.
So our next one, we'll go in a little less technical now. We have this is Sam's. It's a pendulum. These are really, really good if you have steady hands. We use these again for communications with yes, no questions. So we'll ask if there's a spirit here to swing left to right. I am moving it now so you can see the actions. So that for us will be like a no. And then if it's to swing round in a circle, like so, that will be a yes. Or a variant of this, depending on how we're feeling on the night. But we know these are the ways we normally use it. So yes, for yes and no. They are very handy. We have had quite some good results in the past in places, especially Gresley Hall. We had Rachel, one of our old team members, and Sam sat back to back. We asked questions, and they were both getting the same results, which was very, very interesting. It's something we'd like to experiment again with. We've only just found Stacey's pendulum, so on our next investigation, Stacey's with us. We will be putting them back to back and see if they get the same results. So our next less technical piece is the dowsing rods. Dave is amazing on these, especially here. He went through a bit of a lull spot, quiet spot where they wouldn't work for him. He started off really well, and then he just kind of. I think
it started off bad and then just got better.
Yeah, but again, these ones are great because they're quite telescopic and great to keep in your pocket. So again, we do the same. I'll just demonstrate. So we'll have them like so, just not at arm's length, because if you have them at arm's length, you've got to do all this. But we keep them close to our chest, but not too far on our chest that our breathing is going to cause issues. Making sure they're all straight. And again, we'll ask questions like the first one. We'll ask if there's anybody in the room, can they cross them? So we'll get that. So then after that, we'll ask them to bring it out to the middle. Again, this is me doing this. This is for demonstration purposes only. So what we'll do is we'll ask if there is anybody who wishes to communicate to send the rods out for no. Sometimes you get slight, sometimes you get all the way out and you get hit in the arm. And then we'll ask for yes, which is across. And then we can ask questions, yes and no questions from there. We do have to be careful how we word our questions and don't double ask a question at the same time like you would to a person, which is kind of difficult because we do respect all the spirits, so we kind of do treat them as they're still here. It's something we're still learning to work on properly, especially me. But Sarah from Hallam here, the original owner of the mill, quite enjoys using these. So if you do come down, bring a pair of dowsers, Sarah will love to speak to you, or will love to speak to you via these. He does sometimes use cat balls and K2s, but
Or as an indication that he's in the area.
yeah, just there is an indication he's in the area. So, but he does normally use these himself to communicate. We have asked questions. Stuart found a lot of information on him, and he was able to ask questions. And Dave was the recipient who didn't know any of this. We were able to get answers via it, which was interesting. Some of the stuff that Stu found was like, it was weird. It's not weird. How would I put it? Very specific would be the word you'd use. Specific, and the answers we got were very true to what the information they had was. So our next. This one we're going to do in a bundle. This is the Scryotech bundle that we have. This is by Andy Guy. We have the temperature pod. This is a great device. It's passive. Stick it in the room. It will configure to the room temperature, and then if there's a sudden drop or increase of temperature by 5 degrees, it will glow red for hot and blue for cold. At the moment, I've only ever seen this go off once. We still use it on a regular basis, just on the hopes. It is probably one of our least activated pieces of equipment, but I do like it, and like I said, seeing it go off was amazing. We was at the nunnery down in Worcestershire, me and Sam, and we sat in one of the rooms, and I said it went absolutely cold as this went straight to blue, which meant there was a 5 degree drop. So our next piece for Scryotech is the Seismo. This is amazing. Again, another passive piece of equipment. Set it up on somewhere, and if you get any vibrations of anybody walking. So at the moment it's just configurating or calibrating, whichever word you want to use. So if anything to go by, it will make a sound and light up. So if anybody's walking past. So these are great for if you hear footsteps or
Banging on tables.
or
Or any sort of surface that may vibrate.
Yeah. So again, and we've had some quite good responses already off this, especially when I was at Y Collar. That thing was going crazy, and you had it in a dry area because you had it in that little nook.
Yes.
Which was nowhere near the rain, so the rain couldn't have been hitting it, and it was constantly going off. So, our next one is actually a prototype. This is the Shadow 360. This is coming to Scryotech shortly. We had the pleasure of working with this prototype. We got asked by Andy Guy if we'd like to test it out, and we did a really thorough video. If you'd like to watch it, it is over on our YouTube page under Shadow 360. We found with this, it reacts to different light sources. So if you set it up, get it to calibrate, and if anything changes in that with the light source, it will light up which side has thingied it. Like now it's showing that one of us is causing a shadow. It is, like I said, you see the video, this is a prototype, so it is a bit laggy, but great piece of equipment. We're still yet to use it out on the investigations. I'm going to turn it off now because I think. But this one is coming soon. I'd recommend it because there is other shadow trackers out there and they are stupidly expensive. This one will be within the range of £40 to £50 Possibly. I'm not too sure how much he's going to do it, but off the rest of the equipment that he has, every other piece of equipment is about £40. So you won't be looking any more than that. Possibly. Don't hold me to this.
If you bulk buy, you also get a little bit of a discount.
So our next one is something that Lily absolutely loves, and this is the Magnavox. This detects any magnetic changes in the room. Again, another passive piece of equipment. So if it goes off, it's either the north or the south. Lily changes which one she uses depending on the person. Me, she'll use the blue side, which is the south. For Dave, she'll use the north side, which is the red. She probably won't do it now because she's just being Lily. But it's a great piece of equipment. In here, we've had this go off many a times. No matter which room we've had it in, it is.
See our Facebook page, full proof.
Yeah, we have one where we were having a bit of a laugh, and I mentioned, is there a female here? Is there a male here? Is there anybody who identifies as a toaster? And it goes off. It's quite funny. It's a Red Dwarf Pro reference because and so is Dave and Stu, big Red Dwarf fans.
Also known as nerds.
Or Smegs, heads. Yeah. Our next one is the Aeroflux. This one, again, another piece of passive equipment. All the Scrytech equipment is passive. So you set it down, let it calibrate, and then if if it detects something, it will just go off.
It usually detects pressure variations.
Yeah.
Basic barometric changes in the atmosphere.
It's great. We've had it go off here a few times. We're not 100% sure if it may have been a breeze because it's on the floor.
We've also used it outside at Michael Hall and also at Whitehall.
Yes, we did. Again, but we're not too sure if that was the wind or anything. There we go. That's blue.
That's Lily.
That'll be Lily going off. I didn't actually realise I hadn't turned that off. So that'll be Lily showing you how the Magnavox works. So this is a great piece of it. I actually have which one is it? Aeroflux. So it just shows different ones. Like the green mode, like it is now, that shows that it's active and it's scanning. Amber alert means it's linked to occurrences of where the pressure has started to fluctuate to a pattern which is predominantly matched to a large number of recorded events. Which would class as minor, like small unexplained noises, small EMF spikes, slight changes in temperature. Red means it's strong EMF, loud noises, stuff like that. So it's a bit of an everything actually.
Which you can use in conjunction with the K2.
Yeah, which is such a good piece of equipment. And that is all of our Scrytech.
Yes. Oh, carry on.
If you guys, you can't go wrong with this stuff. It's passive. You don't need to keep an eye on it. It'll tell you when it's going off, so you'll know there's something there. And then you can. We haven't really used it as a communication device. It's maybe something we should really be trying to do, but something we can definitely be further look into. Our next one is our REM pod. This one is actually I've made myself. Penny pinched ourselves. We don't have the money to be buying the most expensive and latest and greatest piece of the kit. So this, I found a YouTube video on how to make it. It's junior filament, which I have stuck into this box, and it goes off when something goes near it. I prefer my one. We have got another one that was made for us by another team, but it's very, very loud. I like my one because it's quite soft. So we try to use out my one. I've got a few of these, just so we're not scaring the spirits, because loud noise. I mean, it startles anybody, and when it goes off, you could hear it from a while.
You can hear it from one side of this building to another.
Yeah, and it would still be as deafening as if you was in the room. So the next one I will actually let Sam describe, because this one is Sam's piece that she has saved up a lot of money for, and she's really, really excited about it.
So this style is called equpiment. It does a bit of everything. So when you touch it, it does light up like a red bear does. It's got the light sensors in the feet, the arms, and the stomach. It also has it's a bit like a word band, but it has phrases.
Spirit box.
Yeah, spirit box. So you can leave it unattended, and it'll ask questions. You can leave the recorder running. It's really good for children, spirits. A good way of interacting. It's something probably it looks cute and talks to them so they can have a conversation with the toy, and it also makes noise as well. It is very similar to a Renbear, but does more. Renbear's got a place for battery, 3-9 battery, just makes noise and lights up red, again same sensors, but this one does more. It does cost more, but you get more for your money for it. You also get a little battery pack, live charging, and a power bank as well. So you do get a lot.
Our next piece of equipment is our Zoom H1N voice recorder. This thing is absolutely fantastic. I believe
Hear a
it's
mouse fart in a hurricane.
that I wouldn't. Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that one. I believe this one it's not omnidirectional. I believe it's the other one. Because there's a few that does 360, some that do forward. But we have had some great responses. We use this in conjunction normally with necrophonics, so we can go back and look over the evidence that we've got, because it picks it up so clear, and we can slow it down via using software on our computers or phones. We've really this basically everything here you see is what we use on a regular basis. We do have more, like we have night vision cameras and infrared lights to go with it to make it brighter, other bits and pieces. We also have this from Apidroid or Apitech. This is the VM5. This is like a little spirit box, word bank, like in a mini Ovilus. A few other things. You can actually add a thermal camera to it, which you can place into the back, and again there's a radio so you can turn it into a spirit box. This is a new piece of equipment. We've not really used this one just yet. Not properly. We're still getting used to it, but that is all our equipment, guys.
Now we're going to play with our balls.
We're going to play with our flashing balls. Woo! So, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. There's one more piece of equipment we forgot about. We're so organised. We thought we have the SP7. We do actually have an SP10, I believe, the red one. We don't really use that much, but this one is detuned. I have taken the aerial off at the joint, so there's no set reception to get through to it. I mean, it still picks up on certain radio stations, but we know which stations it picks up on, so we're able to discount anything that comes through at that point. We use it on FM, but you can use it on AM. Another way, the way it's supposed to work is the white noise that the radio signals give off that spirits can use to communicate through. We have had some reasonable communications through it. So that's it, guys. There's nothing else that we have that you guys should know about. But if there is any questions,
Any pieces of equipment you might want to recommend to us?
Yeah, just drop us a DM, comment on one of our videos. For now, we are going to have a quick brew, quick fag, because of course that is a major part of some paranormal teams' repertoire. Have a cig, have a coffee. So we're going to leave it there, guys. We will be going live in a bit.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
They
Like,
said,
subscribe, share.
Yeah.
It's always good.
Heart,
Yeah.
if you're on TikTok. All the other bits and pieces, thumbs up.
is there anything you'd like to add before we go?
Oh, by the way, send money.
If you like our video, guys, please follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And feel free to message on any of them for any questions, queries, equipment, events, or evidence, and share your experiences with us.
Okay, so guys, we're going to sign off now, but we will be back on live in a bit where we'll be doing an
We
investigation.
need petrol money.
So yeah, we'll see you later, guys. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, Virgin.
There's a lot of people passing in and out.
I was like, I can't stop it. I can't stop it. It won't stop.
And you wonder why.
Technical difficulties, everybody.
Why are you not stopping?
And now you see why things go completely pear-shaped sometimes. We are here for your amusement at the present moment.
You're looking for the stop button, John.
It's usually a square, but around a red circle.
I got 2 big fingers.
That's the way you want it.
There!
For the moment, you can enjoy some dancing.
Every time you've had it, you've lost.